Hello everyone, it's Jennifer. It is February 26th. Apologize for being so quiet and for looking the way I do, but it is almost 4:15 in the morning. I'm obviously having difficulty sleeping. I have a lot on my mind, and I haven't made a video for a while, so I thought that I would come on here. I just finished watching my subscriptions. I try to watch those every couple days so I can keep track of your progress and your success and the issues that you might be having and kind of learn from them. But um, I thought I would make a video and kind of update on how things are going. Weight loss wise, I have been keeping a log of my diet changes and my weight loss. I have lost some weight so far. I don't know if you remember or not, but when I seen the bariatric surgeon on December 1st, he didn't give me a weight loss goal because for my bariatric surgery for being a pre-op patient, but he did. The insurance specialist told me that because of my Medicaid, excuse me, because of my Medicaid, um, I had to be on a year-long monitored diet and exercise program, monitored by my general physician, my family doctor. I'm supposed to meet with her every month and follow a program that she prescribes for me, and then report that, have her report it in a letter. There has been a change with that because I can't afford to see her every month, so I've just been documenting it myself and documenting the food aspect, the exercise aspect, and then the mental aspect, because to me the mental aspect is quite frankly more important than the food and the exercise. If you don't have the mental part, the food and the exercise doesn't even matter. So I've been documenting that stuff, and I have I feel like even if I don't end up being approved for surgery, or if I ultimately decide not to have it, um, at least I will have these notes for myself to kind of learn from. So it's kind of a win-win situation. Um, I have lost some weight. When I went to see the surgeon on December 1st, I was 312. My highest weight was 323, but I was 312 when I saw the surgeon um, almost 3 months ago, and the last time I weighed myself, I was 305. I only weigh myself the first of every month um, because I don't want to be obsessed with the scale, because the weight loss for me isn't so much about a number or about how I look physically. It's really about health, and um, I just need to make that the focal point. And so I don't weigh myself too terribly often. Um, so I've lost about 7 pounds in 3 months, which isn't a lot, but as you know, because you've had surgery or you're going to have surgery, um, the weight loss issue is a difficult one for those who are obese or morbidly obese, and it's not as simple as just choosing the right foods and exercising and voila, you're skinny, um, which is something else that I wanted to talk about because I've really been trying to figure out what I believe in terms of food addiction. Is food addiction real, or is it something that we've just kind of come up with um, as a way of pacifying ourselves into not feeling guilty for the weight that we are? And the whole reason I'm thinking this is because I need to figure out some things. I do know I'm a binge eater, I do know I'm an emotional eater, but at the same time, I also know that when I'm eating, if I feel full, I stop eating. I don't continue to eat. I don't continue to find more foods. Um, if I'm not hungry, I usually don't eat. And that to me does not make me a binge eater, does not make me an emotional eater, does not make me addicted to food. However, I also have trigger foods that I know if I eat that, I will not be able to stop. Reese peanut butter cups. I talked about this before. I haven't bought Reese peanut butter cups for 3 months. Excuse me, because I know they're a trigger food. The other day I bought them, they're gone. I bought them yesterday, they're gone. I bought them yesterday morning, 7 o'clock in the morning when I got off work. And they're gone. I ate them all last night. All of them. So, yeah. The thing that I'm trying to figure out with food addiction is because I went to the OA meeting, I think I told you guys that, and I didn't really care for the spirituality aspect, the religious aspect of it. I know it's not supposed to be, but the group that I went to is, and I've just decided to kind of get the OA book and read it for myself at home. But the issue that I'm having with food addiction is, and excuse me if I don't make any sense for about a minute, but okay, in order for it to be an addiction, that means it has to do with the chemicals in your brain. There has to be something genetic. When you have a disease, there's something genetic that got triggered by an outside stimulus or by, how do I explain it? You always had the possibility of getting that disease encoded in your DNA. It was dormant, something triggered it, it got turned on. Different things trigger different diseases, voila, voila, okay? My issue is, if we have something called a food addiction, that means that it's in our DNA, that it was triggered by something, and that you will most likely never be able to be rid of it, but you can manage it. That's simple enough. I can wrap my head around that. What I can't wrap my head around is what triggered it. I mean, obviously our ancestors, you don't see much obesity in cavemen. You don't see much obesity in chimps unless humans make them that way for studies. But you don't see that. Even in our ancestors as far back as the 50s and 60s, or as soon as, not as far back, but as recent as the 50s and 60s, you don't really see too much obesity. I do know that that's directly correlated with the amount of sugar that we're intaking. We intake way more sugar now, and there's so much extra sugar in our foods. So I understand that, but I'm wondering, is the sugar the trigger? Is sugar the poison that's been triggering food addiction? And if it is, number one, why is it still legal? And number two, what can we do about it? I mean, sugar isn't everything. And once you have that disease, how do you monitor yourself? How do you guide yourself? How do you train yourself to not fall prey to that disease anymore? So I'm just having a lot of difficulty with the food addiction issue, and I'm trying to read a lot of books. Like I have the OA book, it's over there on my table. And I recently bought, it's a New York Times bestseller. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can. The End of Overeating by David Kessler. Haven't even started reading it yet. I have 4 or 5 books right now that I'm reading them, but I'm not reading them on a steady basis. And for me to start something and not finish it tells me right there that there's something going on. And every book that I'm reading is something to do with my weight. So I get to a certain point where it just becomes uncomfortable emotionally and mentally for me to deal with it. So I just stop reading. And that's another thing I have to get over. So I bought this book. And I know a lot of people also go on Spark People. And they have a book. I didn't know that. But it's called The Spark. It's Spark People. And I haven't started reading this one either. It's just, I just want to gain as much knowledge as I can to kind of figure this out, because even if I have the bariatric surgery and I use it as the tool that it is, there's still the mental and the emotional component to it that I have to deal with. And I want to know if I do have a food addiction, and if I don't have a food addiction, if there's no such thing as food addiction, if it's really just about choosing the right foods, as my surgeon thinks. My surgeon does not believe in food addiction. He flat out told me, figure out why you binge and stop doing it. So I need a new surgeon because I don't like that attitude. So anyway, I totally got off track. The insurance issue has changed because I will be getting Medicare in June. I receive Social Security disability, both for my back condition and for my bipolar disorder, which my bipolar disorder is partially why I'm up at 4:30 in the morning. I was laying there for about 3 hours. I've slept all day today. I've slept 19 hours on and off earlier. So now I'm wide awake, and I lay there for 3 hours, and I started to feel a lot of anxiety and like a surge of energy. It's not real energy, it's literally a surge of energy. And I'm taking medication. I take Zoloft, which helps with the depression aspect of the bipolar, but lately I've been having a lot of episodes, short, brief episodes of um, feeling very anxious and feeling very, it feels kind of good, but I know that it's not pure good. It's not a pure happiness. It's a uncontrollable, anxious. It's good, but it's bad. I really don't know how to explain it, and I apologize. I know I'm kind of going all over, but so at any rate, so I'm getting Medicare, and I called the bariatric surgeon office today, and they said that the qualifications for my surgery will change once I get the Medicare, because all I need is a letter from my doctor stating that it's a medical necessity, which I will have no problem getting. I have IBS, I have asthma, I have bipolar disorder, I have sleep apnea, I have acid reflux, I have the back condition, which I had back surgery last year, but they've already told me if I don't lose the weight, I will need the surgery again within 5 to 8 years. So don't want to do that again. My back stuff is terrible. Um, and that's just the stuff that I can think of off the top of my head. My iron's low, my cholesterol's ridiculous, my triglycerides are insane. Insane. And I'm 31 years old. Um, so it is definitely a medical necessity. Um, and I'm going to treat it as such, and I'm going to treat the surgery as a tool. So I'm just trying to get all this stuff situated, and um, it doesn't help that there's a lot going on in my life. I resigned from my position that I just started last week. I resigned earlier today. I do have reasons for it. I'm not a complete idiot. I do have reasons for it. But now I'm back to not having a job, and I'm considering going to graduate school to possibly become a family and relationship counselor. But I'm also very interested in certain aspects of science like genetics and DNA and sexuality, gender identity, that kind of stuff. So I'm just kind of dealing with all that stuff. And then my relationship, I know that it's not the healthiest relationship for me, simply because he is my emotional security blanket. I've known him for 15 years. We've been together for 6.5, almost 7. And mentally, I know that it's not the type of relationship that I want to be in, and it's not meeting all my needs. But it's very hard for me to not be with him, because he is my emotional security blanket, and I know how much he loves me, and I know that he wants his future to include me in it. So it's very hard to leave when I'm not totally miserable. Like, I feel like I don't know, I guess it's the whole self-worth thing. But anyway, it's a very long video, and I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on with me. Um, I have finished eating my soup. I usually eat a bowl of soup every night before bed, and I didn't earlier, so I just finished my soup, and it's 4:30 now, so I'm going to try to go back to bed. I have to get up in 3 hours, so I am sorry that I've rambled so much, but I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on with me. If you have any questions or insight or offers of advice, please give it, because I just feel like I'm going through a transition right now, and I'm having a difficult time going through it. But at any rate, thank you so much for watching, and I will do another video again when it's absolutely necessary. Thanks for watching. Bye.